Narayan namaskritya naram chaiva narottam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam devim nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevi bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 24, the 61 explanations of the Atmaram verse, text 152 onwards. Tabye chakara se samuchaya kaya Atma Ramascha Munyascha Krishnere bhaja. By the aggregate use of the word cha, it is indicated that all the Atma Ramas and saints serve and worship Krishna. Nirgranthapi Rai api sambhavane ei sat artha prathame karilu vyakhyan. Api added to the word nirgrantha is used for exposition. Thus I have tried to clarify 7 meanings of the Atmarams. Antaryami upasak Atma Rama kai, sei Atma Rama yogi dui bhedahai. The yogi who worships the Supersoul within himself is also called Atmaram. There are 2 types of Atmaram yogis. Sagarbha Nigarbha, ehi hai dui bheda, ek tin bhede chai vibheda. The 2 types of Atmaram yogis are called Sagarbha and Nigarbha. Each of these is divided into 3. Therefore, there are 6 types of worshippers of the Supersoul. The word Sagarbha yogi refers to a yogi who worships the Supersoul in the Vishnu form. The Nigarbha yogi worships the Supersoul without form. The Sagarbha and Nigarbha yogis are further categorized. Sagarbha Yoga Rurukshu, Nigarbha Yoga Rurukshu. Sagarbha Yoga Ruda, Nigarbha Yoga Ruda, and Sagarbha Prapta Siddhi and Nigarbha Prapta Siddhi. Kechitso dehantar hridyavakashe, pradesha matram purusham vasanta, chaturbhujam kanj, rathanga shankha, gadadharam dharanya smaranti. Some yogis think of the Lord within their hearts as measuring about 6 inches. The Lord has 4 hands in which he holds a conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower. Those who worship this form of Vishnu within the heart are called Sagarbha yogis. And Evam Haro Bhagwati Prati Labdo Bhavo Bhaktya Dravad Dridaya Utpulaka Pramoda Otkantya Bashpakalaya Muhur Ardhyamanas Tachapi Chitta Badisham Shanakara Vimukte. When one is in ecstatic love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's heart is melted by Bhakti Yoga and one feels transcendental bliss. There are bodily symptoms manifest, and due to eagerness, there are tears in the eyes. Thus, one is subjected to spiritual bliss. When the heart is overly afflicted, the meditative mind, like a fishing hook, is gradually separated from the object of meditation. This is again from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yoga Rurukshu Yoga Ruda Prapta Siddhiya Reitin Bhede Chai Prakar. By these 3 divisions of advancement in yoga, Yoga Rurukshu, Yoga Ruda, and Prapta Siddhi. There are 6 kinds of mystic yogis. This Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita. Arurukshor Munera Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. Yoga Rudasya Taseva Sama Karanam Uchyate. For those saintly persons who wish to rise to the platform of yogic perfection, the means consisting of practicing the yoga system by strictly following its regulative principles and practicing the yoga postures and breathing exercises. And for those who are already elevated to this platform, the means consisting of maintaining mental equilibrium, shama, by rejecting all material activity and practicing meditation to keep the mind on the Supreme Lord. So Yoga Rurukshu means they are still trying, and Yoga Ruda means they have already attained mental equilibrium. Prapta Siddhi is they are perfected. Yatha yada hi na indriyartheshu na karmashu anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudas taduchyate. When a person is no longer interested in acting for sense gratification, and when he renounces all material desires, he is said to be situated in perfect yoga, yoga ruda. Eichai yogi sadhu sangadi hetu payam, Krishna bhaje Krishna gune akrishta hayam. When a purified yogi associates with devotees, he engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service, being attracted by the Lord's transcendental qualities. Cha shabde apir arth ihanu kahaya muni nirgrantha shabdera puruvat arthahaya. The meanings of the words cha and api can be applied here. The meanings of the words muni and nirgrantha are the same as before. उरुक्रम में अहेतु की कहाँ कौन अर्थ यही तेरे अर्थ कहिलु परम समर्थ. The word ahetuki is always applicable to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Urukram. In this way, I have described 13 complete meanings of the Atmaram verse. So Prabhupada gives a summary again. The 13 meanings of the Atmaram verse mentioned here are based on the following meanings of the word Atmaram. One is sadhak, the neophyte performer. Second is brahmamay, one absorbed in the thought of impersonal Brahman. Prapta brahmalaya, one who has actually attained Brahman perfection. Mumukshu, one who desires liberation. Jivan mukta, one who is liberated in this life. Prapta Swarupa, one who has attained his original constitutional position. Then Nirgrantha Muni, a completely liberated saint. Sagarbha Yogarurukshu, a yogi meditating upon the four-handed Vishnu form and desiring yogic perfection. Nigarbha Yogarurukshu, one who is trying for perfection in impersonal meditation. Sagarbha Yogaruda, one who has been elevated to the platform of yogic perfection by meditating on Vishnu form. Nigarbha Yogaruda, an impersonal yogi on the platform of perfection. Sagarbha Prapta Siddhi, one who has attained the perfectional stage by meditating on the Vishnu form. Nigarbha Prapta Siddhi, one who has attained perfection by practicing impersonal meditation. यही सब शांत यज्ञ भजे भगवान शांत भक्त करि तबे कहितार नाम. These 13 types of yogis and munis are called Shant Bhaktas, for they render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the neutral stage. Atma Shabde Man Kaha Mane Yai Ram Sadhu Sange Seh Bhaje Se Shri Krishna Charan. The word Atma sometimes means, in this case, the word Atmaram means a person who is satisfied by mental speculation. When such a person associates with a pure devotee, he takes to devotional service at the lotus feet of Krishna. Udaram upasate ya rishi vartamasu kurpudrisha. Parishar padhatim hirdayam arunyodharam. Tat udagad ananta tav dham shira paramam punar iha yat sametya na patanti kritanta mukhe. Those who follow the path of great saintly mystic yogis take to the yogic gymnastic process and begin worshipping from the abdomen, where it is said that the Brahman is located. Such people are called sarkaraksha, which means that they are situated in the gross bodily conception. There are also followers of the rishi known as Aruna. Following his path, they observe the activities of the arteries. Thus, they gradually rise to the heart, where subtle Brahman Paramatma is situated. They then worship him. O unlimited Ananta, better than these persons are the mystic yogis who worship you from the top of their heads. Beginning with the abdomen and proceeding through the heart, they reach the top of the head and pass through the Brahmarandra, the hole at the top of the skull. Thus, these yogis attain the perfection platform and do not enter the cycle of birth and death again. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So different yogis are there. Eho Krishna Guna Krishna Mahamuni Haya Ahetuki Bhakti Kare Nirgrantha Haya. Being attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna, such yogis become great saints. At that time, not being hampered by the yogic process, they engage in unalloyed devotional service. Atma Shabda Yatna Kahe Yatna Kariya Munyo Api Krishna Bhaje Guna Krishna Haya. Atma also means endeavor, being attracted by Krishna's transcendental qualities. Some saints make a great endeavor to come to the point of rendering service to him. Tasyeva hetu prayatet kovitu na labhyate yad brahmatam upariyadha. Tal labhyate dukhvad anyata sukham kalen sarvatra gabhir ramasa. The transcendental position cannot be attained by wandering up and down from Brahmaloka to Pataloka. If one is actually intelligent and learned, he should endeavor for that rare transcendental position. By the force of time, one attains whatever material happiness is available within the 14 worlds, just as one attains distress in due course of time. But since spiritual consciousness is not attained in this way, one should try for it. So this verse is spoken by Narad Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni was speaking to Vyasadeva, who was morose even after he had compiled all the Vedic literature. In this connection, Narad Muni advised Srila Vyasadeva to try to attain devotional service and nothing else. Means the endeavor has to be there. Saddharmasyavabodhaya yesham nirbandhini mati achiradeva sarvartha siddhyati yesham abhipsita. Those who are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness and who thus have unflinching, undeviated intelligence certainly attain the desired goal of life very soon. This is from Naradiya Puran. Cha shabda api arte api avadharane yatna graha vina bhakti na janmaye preme. The word cha may be used in the place of api, which gives emphasis to something. Thus it means that without sincere endeavor in devotional service, one cannot attain love of Godhead. So without sincere endeavor, of course, some people or some Vaishnavas, they believe in mercy only. The Prabhupada gave an example of cat and monkey. So the monkey's baby, he hangs on to mother monkey, and mother monkey jumps from one place to another, keeping the baby monkey with her. And cat example is the baby, the kitten, the cat, mother cat, she picks up the kitten and goes from one place to another. So their argument is, in a monkey analogy, so we are hanging on to a spiritual master, Krishna, by our endeavor. Means no mercy is involved. In cat example, full mercy. The kitten is not doing anything. The cat is taking him from one place to another. But here, Mahaprabhu is saying, without sincere endeavor in devotional service, one cannot attain love of God. But that doesn't mean by on the basis of our endeavor we're going to attain love of God. No. So it's a combination of cat and monkey example, because a devotee does his endeavor to sincerely perform devotional service. But perfection can only be granted by the mercy of the Lord and Guru or Prabhupada. So that's where the difference. It's not that we don't do chanting and don't do sadhan bhakti and expect, oh, I'm going to get Krishna prema. Not going to happen. But some paths, they say, no, this is how it is. Mercy, causeless mercy, and it's not based on uh, your performance of bhakti is not the cause for that. Well, our performance of bhakti is not cause for the mercy, yeah, but it attracts Krishna's attention towards his devotees. That these guys are serving me so nicely, or trying to serve me nicely. They deserve my mercy. So different arguments are there. But here Mahaprabhu is saying Atma also means endeavor, sincere endeavor. Sadhana ogher anasangher alabhya suchiradapi harina chashva adiyeti dvidha sasyat sudurlabha. Devotional perfection is very difficult to attain for two reasons. First, unless one is attached to Krishna, he cannot attain devotional perfection, even if he renders devotional service for a long time. Second, Krishna does not easily deliver perfection in devotional service. Two reasons. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Muktim Dadati Karhichit. Srila Shukdev Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit that Krishna readily grants liberation, but does not very readily grant perfection in devotional service. This means that Krishna wants to see that a devotee is actually sincere and serious, and that he does not have ulterior motives. If this is the case, devotional service can very easily be successful. Otherwise, it's very difficult to obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse appears in Bhakti Rasamrita. See, Krishna also wants to see the sincerity of our soul. Even though we are struggling, but he wants to see our sincere efforts. That's all. Tesham satati yukatanam bhajatam priti purvak tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamapyanti. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to. So again, this is from Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. So to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. So that's the condition. And then Krishna's mercy, I give the understanding by which they can come. Atma Shabda Dhriti Kahe, Dhairya Ye Rame, Dhairyavanta eva haya kara eva jane. Another meaning of Atma is Dhriti, or endurance. A person who endeavors with endurance is Atma. With endurance, such a person engages in devotional service. Muni Shabde Pakshi Bhringa Nirgranthe Murkha Jan, Krishna Kripaye Sadhu Kripa, Dohara Pacha. The word Muni also means bird and bumblebee. The word Nirgrantha refers to foolish people. By the mercy of Krishna, such creatures contact a sadhu, spiritual master, and thus engage in devotion service. Prayo Batamba Munyo Vihaga Vaneasmin, Krishne Kshitam Tad Uditam Kalvenu Arvi Drum Pujan, Ruchira Pravala, Shunvanti Milit Drisho, Vigatani Mocha. My dear mother, in this forest, all the birds, after rising on the beautiful branches of the trees, are closing their eyes and not being attracted by any other sound, are simply listening to the vibration of Krishna's flute. Such birds must be on the same level as great saints. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. This statement was made by the gopis who were lamenting in separation from Krishna and studying how the inhabitants of Vrindavan were enjoying life like saintly persons. Ete alinastav yasho akhil lokatirtham gayant adi purushanu patham bhajante prayo amimni gana bhavadiya mukhya gudam vane apina jahati anaghatm devam. Of good fortune personified, of original personality of Godhead. All these bees are chanting about your transcendental fame, which will purify the entire universe. Indeed, they're following your path in the forest and are worshipping. Actually, they're all saintly persons, but now have taken the form of bees. Although they're playing like human beings, they could not forget that you are their worshipable deity. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna and Balram were just on the verge of boyhood and were entering the forest of Vrindavan when Krishna began to offer prayers to please Balramji. So next verse, I'll just go to the translation. All the cranes and swans in the water are being enchanted by the melodious song of Krishna's flute. They have approached and are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full attention. Alas, they're closing their eyes and are becoming completely silent. So in the day Krishna went to the forest of Vrindavan, and at that time the gopis, being morose due to separation from him, were lamenting in this way. So basically, anybody and everybody can become devotee, can perform devotional service. Here, in fact, bees and the birds and the saras, they all are, according to Gopi, they're performing devotional service. I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have
Thank
said.
you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna. Jai Shri